All right, the next type of function we're going to look at is power functions, and also we're going to look at polynomial functions on this video. Power functions, they are monomials. Okay, monomials. And just remember that mono means one. Okay, so there is only one term in a power function, and it's always x to some power. Okay, so x to the first, or x to the second, x to the third. And where n is the degree of the polynomial. Remember, your degree is your highest exponent in a polynomial. Okay, but if it's a power function, it is just a monomial, singular. Okay, so here's an example of a linear function. And when I have a linear, the degree is 1. Okay, here's an example of an x squared. And since it's 2 and 2, this one has a degree of 2. The next one is our pal, the cubic, okay, x to the third, and so our degree for this one, our biggest exponent's a 3, degree 3. If I get onto my next one, it's an x to the fourth. You notice it's very similar to our x to the squared, just a little bit different. It gets a little bit rounder and flattens out a little bit here. So this is a degree 4. And lastly, this is an example of a degree 5. It's x to the fifth, and same thing as our degree 3. Kind of flattens out here a little bit near the origin. One thing to take note is your even degree. Our power functions look similar to all the other even degrees. So if I take a look at my even degree, I'm looking at this one and this one. They both have end behavior, or the way the graph ends, with going the same direction. Okay, so if I go ahead and look, they both have arrows going up. They could also be, if they were a negative x squared or a negative x to the fourth, they would be going downward. Okay, so if you have even degree polynomials, just remember that the end behavior is the same. They both go up or they both go down. Okay, if we have an odd degree polynomial, the end behavior goes the opposite direction. If I look here, this is degree 1, one goes down and one goes up. This one goes down, this one goes up. Okay, so end behavior is opposite. And one last thing I want to point out with your power functions, as well as your polynomials, is that the degree, the highest exponent, indicates the number of possible roots or zeros. Indicates the number of possible roots or zeros. So for instance, when you guys factor a quadratic, you could have 2 possible answers with it. Okay. If you guys factor a cubic, the most you could have would be 3 possible answers. Okay. And then the last thing I want to touch on here is your polynomial functions. And what polynomial functions are a whole bunch of power functions added or subtracted together. Okay. So power functions added or subtracted together. Let's see in there together. That makes up your polynomial. So y equals x squared is a power function, okay, because it's a monomial. And then y equals x squared plus 3x minus 2, that's a polynomial because there's more than one. Poly means many, okay. So that is your power and your polynomial functions.